discipline, maybe we can accept them to do their thing in private, you know. And because I just look at, when I look with my friends, at the time when this debate had just come to Rwanda, what they were thinking then and what they are thinking now is quite different. Because they have been exposed to the kind of views that are challenging their bigoted opinions. Usually sometimes you even don't blame them that they hold these opinions because they're ignorant about the other side of the coin. But when you give them, when you show them the realities, for instance, I think one of the, I don't know how we can do it, but one of the most pertinent issues that should be pursued is whether there are people who are born gay. But the moment you prove to them that there are people who are born gay, then they will know that now this is persecution. Because if you're criminalizing someone or you're discriminating them because of his nature, then that is persecution. And anyone in his right mind will know that isn't right. That is why you see the president use that very
argument.
Yeah, because he knew the moment he didn't consider that argument. But you remember now when the Anti-Homosexuality Act was struck down.
Yeah.
Then now we told the other members of parliament we called them for retreat. Now we even went to the issue of choice that, but now we have to consider the issue of two consenting adults who are in private. So now it is also something that is on the table. But the president is very liberal minded. It's only that he only has to play to the crowd. Because for him he's a politician, you know? Yeah. So sometimes also he has to be helped out. Because if you see what he wrote before he signed that bill, you know, it was something of a person of a liberal mind.
Right, okay.
But because of the pressure, he's looking at the 2016 election.
Right.
He's not going to go to every rally and explain himself. So,
pressure from who? From the politicians or from the general public? Where does the pressure come from? Who's the main? What's the main movement against?
Okay, the main movement is mainly the Pentecostal movement.
The Pentecostal. So it's the Pentecostal movement who's trying to keep happy.
Pentecostals, then the opportunistic politicians.
Right.
Yeah, because for them, they want something. You know, Uganda is so polarized. You know, because at least for us, we are lucky. We are in the civil. We are in these civil organizations, but we also have another foot in politics.
Right.
So we know how these things are run. Uganda is so polarized that the opposition and the ruling NRM party, they never get to agree on anything. Now when they get a very small issue like on gays where they can agree that let's hang them.
Right.
For the moment they have something on which, a single moment they have something on which they can agree on. Now they are all in unison, they are not reasoning, you know, they are playing to the crowd. They know when you speak contrary, you're not going to be heard, so it becomes very hard.
And is it, I've been reading things about preachers from America coming over to Uganda and fueling these messages about, is that something that you're aware of going on?
Yeah, it's right, we have heard about them, but also, you know, it's very, it's not, because even before they came, there were Ugandan Pentecostal pastors who are fueling this kind of rhetoric.
Right.
Around, and that because they can read the society's mind, they can read the society's mindset and relate to it. So, for instance, the funny thing is while the Pentecostals are fronting this, there are also very many Pentecostal pastors who have been involved and who have got cases for forced sodomy.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Which is the same in churches.
Yeah. So it's so in a way it's also a war in between the Pentecostal movement.
Yeah.
So there are some pastors who are using other pastors who are, I think, who are gays but are hiding.
Yeah.
To fight them while also turning the debate into a national issue.
Yeah.
So it's very tricky. It's a web of very many intricacies.
And just to get back to something you said earlier about the white people, like the gays being a white person, issue. Can you tell me more about what that is about? That it's some sort of white agenda that people should
okay.
something.
You know, now there are those who are fronting. They're saying this is a conspiracy by the whites to exterminate the black race.
Oh, by making everybody gay.
Yeah. Because the simple logic is if everyone is given people are not produce. Yeah. You see, but of course these are very small, these are these are trivial units. Because you're asking now, well, when you start with the priests, they set out and they vote to God that they're never going to marry, they're never going to produce kids.
Yes.
And so when you because of course that's a problem. I always tell them when we are debating this issue, let's put God aside. Because the moment you invoke God, then I'm going to make you more angry. Then I'm going to attack God's writings. So they will say there is an agenda by the whites to exterminate the black race by making a whole lot of us gay. You know, it's quite clear. Most of them just don't make up. And I will also tell you that whites also promoting this SWAT. Gets entangled in schools, you know, because for me, I'm lucky, you know. Most people, when they speak about gays, they've never seen one now. In this kind of society where I'm also exposed because I have to work with them, you know. But I'm also lucky I went to single-sex schools, you know, missionary schools.
Right.
I got a chance to see boys who are gay.
Yeah.
So I actually know, for me, I don't use science. I don't need science. I've seen people who I know are born here. I've seen them in my own eyes. You know? But very many people have never encountered one. You know? But if you've been in single-sex schools, I don't know whether parents can get to know these kiddies and they take them there. But when you go to single-sex schools, whether it's girls-only schools or boys-only schools, you're going to see these people. They are there. That is why actually another problem is you're not going to find the Catholic Church so much into this debate.
Okay.
Yeah, because they very well know the problem. You know, they have had the priests, and then they also have the schools, and they have this. They know they are there, so they don't want to involve themselves in this debate. Because now, for them, from what they know, they should speak like me. But the moment they start speaking like me, they're going to tell them, for you don't have to speak. You're already guilty. We know the problems of Vatican. You know, so. Sometimes you're going to have people who are going to speak like me. Because when you speak like me, Pastor, I'm working with Uganda Kingdom.
You're working with the Uganda Kingdom.
Very conservative, you know, kingdom matters, culture matters, professional matters, very conservative. And then in Uganda Kingdom, I never say this in open. I never say it. I say a lot on the microphone, but I never say this in open. Uganda Kingdom, when you read the history of the Uganda matters, part of the story, part of the conspiracy theory is the Kabaka killed some of these matters because they were refusing his advances. And when you read the life of Kabaka Mwanga, he was a person who loved hanging out with fellow male youths. That is on record, even before all this gay stuff is involved.
Right, so that's in the history.
Yeah, that is in the history of Uganda Kingdom. So these are, so there is, you know, actually there is a lot. For me, because I've spent a lot on critical analyzing this issue, you know, there's a lot I sense sometimes I make it's a nice them and they're very angry, but when these are facts.
What can you say?
When these are facts. When you consider Uganda Kingdom, we have part of these families, those old noble families, close to the royal family. There's a family, in fact, their home is near the administrative building of Uganda Kingdom. And this is a family that has 3 boys, 3 men, all of them pastors, and all of them have been implicated as gays. So I ask people now, how does someone recruit 3 family members? But you know, some of these actually they're into these problems because they have to live a life of hiding. They don't know who they can associate with and have a relationship with. So they find themselves forcing themselves on boys and these boys run to. But how do 3 family members, men, all get involved in again. Even their sister, a very beautiful girl. She has never had the money in her life, and she's a public person. So you end up these things, and when you tell people, someone keeps quiet, but someone doesn't want to follow up, and when someone realizes there's a problem. So it's still an interesting issue for one debate, for most schooling in Uganda. Please let me go. I'm going somewhere for some work.
Okay.
But we can begin later.
Okay.
Okay,
Then
this
I'll
is
see
okay.
it. Okay.
So, and what makes Halea, what makes you want to work on this issue?
What makes us want to work on this issue is because simply, one, as an organization, we will be done with free thought. For us, we discuss in a controversial issue. No, here comes a time when gay matters are one of the most controversial issues of the what we do. And we are for free thought, we are for open-mindedness, what we do. Are we going to be as bigoted as the rest of Ugandan society, or are we going to try to show Ugandan society that, look here, this is the right thing, this is why you're thinking this, there is also this issue, there is also this side of the opinion.
And even youths who are coming to our office telling us about all that, that they were sodomized by those people of God, pastors. Yeah, there are some youths who have been coming, and I've seen the
But also, okay, even before that, humanism is mainly about people. But some of the partner organizations we work with, for instance, Humanists of Norway, also work with, they have been helping out the gays in Uganda, and we also partner with them. So sometimes when they organize retreats, we get together with them and we have come to know these people. And so with time you build a relationship. Now, are we going to keep them? We have come together at a hotel, at a retreat, and I've come to know you, Bernett. For instance, there is a girl called Halea. Am I going to keep a distance with you just because I've known you again? At least we are above that. We are above that. So we have gotten to know some of these people firsthand, and they have told us their way, and we have seen their amiable people. These are people you can work with. So we come to accept them. They make a friendship with us. They invite us to their meetings. Of course, whenever they organize their conferences and meetings, they're always in hiding. They don't publicize them because if they do, the police is going to attack them.
Is it dangerous for you guys to even talk about this?
Of course, it's very dangerous. Actually, it's very bad. I haven't seen some of my Facebook postings. But you would have seen people, people I call friends. People, with Facebook, they're what they call Facebook friends. When you've never met someone. But people who you've met on a platform somewhere, and it's just because you're speaking a different opinion, different language from him on this issue, then he's saying, you need to be banned, you need to be hanged, you need to be killed. But with time, sometimes sometimes there was a time some people said, for you need to, and my brothers and sisters came up open and they told these people, look here, if my brother gets any problem, we'll look at you as the cause of the response. Yeah, because some of our relatives are always following in silence, but they know you hold these views. They may not speak like you, but for instance, my sister is also very open-minded. She might not speak like you, but she knows what is supposed to be right. She has also gone to single-sex schools. She has experienced this also. But it's open, in Uganda. If you don't speak, if you're not singing the gay songs, then you're quite in danger. Because even the MPs, even these people petition like Professor Lukyamuzi and Makere, people label them gay.
Is there anywhere in Africa that is more liberal in terms of accepting the gay community? Is there any? Are there any countries that are?
Actually, I don't know. I'm not sure. South Africa would have been the best. But even in South Africa, I know movements that are into what they call correctional rape. Understand?
Yeah.
So if in South Africa you find such terms, then why is it safe? Even in Europe and America, it's the laws that have given them that freedom, and it's the laws that are being enforced to see that they have their freedom. But they have always been a persecuted law. Even in our society, the laws that we have that are against their freedom, they were introduced by the colonialists.
Yeah.
So it's still an open struggle worldwide. It's not only in Africa. It is one thing.
So what would you do with funding to do with this issue? What sort of work would you be able to do?
That's what we have been discussing, and it's quite tricky because even us wouldn't like to come out openly as supporting. But since we have already been in the field, we want to draft a program where we can sensitize people more. Of course, because we are looking at having programs on TV and radio discussing human rights. Then once in a while you can introduce this issue because once it always pop up once in a while. And then we are also looking at having a program to specifically fight mob justice, because I've always told people that gays and gay rights activists like me are more vulnerable to mob justice than the state, because the state, even though it might have a coercive arm, at least for it might have a little responsibility. The worst it can do is imprison you. When you go to the courts, you won't get bail if you can argue your case in courts. You can challenge it with argument, but you can't fight with the mob. With the mob, you're already dead. The moment he's a guy, this is a guy who supports gays, what? They won't stone you, and by the time you're going to be dead. And if you've been in Uganda, I don't know, when you sit in the evening, I don't know what kind of news you're watching. It's most likely you're watching news you understand that is in English. But there is a popular brand of news, it's on Okene TV. It's called the Gatari Konfufu. The moment, actually, it's a very popular brand of news. I don't know why. Because people wait for it, even 30 minutes too. You find people rushing to, I'm going to say Agatari. No, Agatari Konfufu, that is in Uganda, but in English, it translates into news that doesn't have any dust. We bring it to you direct. But when you watch Agatariko, it is full of justice. It's usually about who was found in adultery with whose wife, then how he was beaten up, who was found stealing a pig or a goat, then he was beaten up, a goat and pig tied in his neck, and who is being accused of witchcraft. Then his banana plantation is cut down, his house torched, You understand? So when you see this, you see that Ugandan society is steeped in justice. So I don't fear the state. As an activist, I don't fear being taken to the prison. What I fear is the mob. You understand? So we are looking at a program where we can fight mob justice, where we can sit on TV, watch, because even in Uganda, mob justice is illegal.
Really?
It's illegal.
Illegal?
It's illegal.
Right, okay. So I thought you were saying it's legal.
No, it's illegal. Okay. It's illegal, it isn't allowed. But the state doesn't follow up the culprits. Now what we want is, if we have the funds, if we can have a vehicle, if we can partner with some law enforcement personnel, the moment we sit on TV, because these faces are in the open, we can go to that village and these people can be rounded up and they can be used as an example that it is illegal, they have been prosecuted in the courts, they are taken to prison and imprisoned. After some time,
regardless of what
issue it is. Exactly. Regardless of what issues. Because the moment they learn that if we do this, the result is going to come for us. We are going to be held culpable, prosecuted. So after some time, they can even be excused. They can be given a bailout, or they can be excused. But after they have learned that it is something wrong, So one such a program, we have always thought about such a program to see to it that the victims, we can put them somewhere, Because if we can put a victim, because usually now like witchcraft, someone is being accused of witchcraft, you know, no one can prove witchcraft. The things they say now, since this guy came to the village, it's no longer raining, you know.
But we come across it in our work.
Yeah, we do possibility.
Yeah,
you understand that? You understand? Because these are the things. Since this person came to the village, it's no longer raining. You know, people have died of weird diseases, and these are things. Sometimes they are cancers. Someone is just because someone is vomiting blood, and then you say it's a weird disease. You haven't even taken it for medication. You know, so we are looking at that. That if we prosecute these people, then people start fearing to become involved in homogenesis. And at the end of the day, even gays, they feel safe. Yeah, that is it's a very big problem. Before gays, you know, if you've been following things in Uganda, before gays, we had the Anti-Pornography Act.
Right.
Understand?
Yeah.
But the Anti-Pornography Act wasn't anti-pornography per se. Because the law stated that the law was sexist. It only targeted women, it didn't target men.
Oh, okay.
You know?
So women couldn't watch porn, but men...
No, I've told you, the law wasn't anti-pornography as such.
Right.
The law stated any woman who wears anything that can bring about the sexual arousal of the man. You understand? You know those kind of laws.
Oh my God.
So a woman wasn't supposed to expose her buttocks, her breasts, her thighs, you know, and it depends on the man's libido. Understand? Yes.
That is unbelievable.
You know?
Yeah.
So while many women were also supporting the Anti-Homosexuality Act, the president, before signing the Anti-Homosexuality Act, 2 weeks before, he signed the Anti-Pornography Bill. And the Anti-Pornography Bill had been nicknamed the Anti-Miniskirt Bill because it actually banned the miniskirts.
Oh my goodness.
Now, the day he signed the Anti-Miniskirt Bill into law, that is 2 weeks before he signed the Anti-Homosexuality Act, women were undressed in Kampala here. You know, you're wearing a miniskirt and they undress you and you remain completely naked, even the knicker.
What, in the street?
Yeah, in the streets. So I'm showing you how we have to fight this kind of mobs, this kind of mob justice.
Saying that you want to walk naked.
Yeah, you want, okay, if
Oh my God, that's horrendous.
you want to be half naked, then first let us help you and you bury you naked. So you can see.
Yeah.
No, since you have started working with us, we are going to share with you all these things and you see the kind of environment we operate in.
Yeah.
The kind of injustices we are fighting.
It's so backwards. That's the thing. It's like taking so many steps back.
And you can imagine there was a minister, all youth minister, who said, you know, incitement, because you know some of these politicians get to that level and you wonder, how does a person with such a kind of mentality get to that level? How do you become appointed? The guy said, that now these days, if someone is caught in rape, we are going to start investigating what the woman was wearing. The woman was wearing a miniskirt, then the culprit won't have any case because it will have been the woman who will have induced the man into, you know.
And a minister said that.
And the minister says that. And so because what we would have wanted, we wanted the kind of activism where whole society would raise up and say, no, you have to resign.
Yes.
You're a disgrace.
Yeah.
Understand?
Yeah.
But this is a society that has gotten used to this kind of statements and this kind of thinking.
That's scary.
Quite scary. And by the way, let me tell you, Ugandans in nature are very accommodative. It is only the politicians and these pastors who have incited this kind of. But in nature, we are very accommodative.
Yeah.
We are very accommodative.
Yeah.
Because you know, this country was built around Buganda Kingdom. You know, you take away Bia and you have Uganda. When you study the nature of the Baganda, they are very accommodative. In nature, first the Baganda, we are hypocrites. You know? in nature with the Baganda, I will never tell you something in your face. I will not be backbite you. You know? When I see you, for instance, we see you coming and you say, yeah, he always comes at lunchtime when we are eating, he always wants our food. But when we enter, we are, you're very welcome. So you can see, we are very accommodative and very tolerant. It's only of recent that these people have come up and said this kind of incitement because of cheap politics. You know? So what I know is we can roll back this kind of mindset and mentality.
Right.
Yeah, we can roll it back.
And how do you see change coming? Is it through targeting kids, targeting the public, or mobs, or politicians?
Yeah, we have to.
Or a bit of everything.
It has to be multifaceted. You have to target the young, the upcoming generation, so they grow up free-minded. Because look here, the young ones always want to grow up wearing freely. You understand? Then we have to target the old generation. We tell them, look here, we have to reason rationally. Okay? We have to be accommodative of the people we don't agree with. We have to show them that we live in a world of different tastes and opinions. For instance, on the Uganda Kingdom Radio, these people are around when anti-homosexuality was struck down. I risked, it was a great risk, because look, I'm a youth leader in Uganda Kingdom. I go on a radio that is known to of a very conservative institution. Everyone is very angry that homosexuality has been struck down, and they're speaking about how they are going to reinforce it back. And here I am, I stand up. They think you're going to sing the same song with them, and you're saying something completely different. But the whole studio kept quiet. They did away with timekeeping because they could realize what I was saying at is. Told them, look here, we have to get back right into our senses. We have to know we are the people of different tastes and opinions. Yes, the gays might be a minority, but ask them, if you wake up and 99% of Ugandans are Christians, 99% of members of parliament are Christians, should they make a law to outlaw the 1% Muslims? Does it make sense? And they thought about it and they could see, yeah, it doesn't make sense. Just because people are the minority and you outlaw them, does it make sense? I showed them the right to privacy. Does it make sense? Because this law is sought to come and keep doors and enter people's bedrooms to find out what they are doing. I talked about oral sex, I talked about anal sex. These are between man and wife. And they have consented. Now, what do we do about those? So this is one of our kids. She has grown up in this program. She's called Viola. Yeah, she's in secondary school.
Hello.
And she has very liberal views.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So she's part of she leads the teens entertainment program with us.
Okay.
So we also have a studio up there, a recording studio, so teens come and record songs.
Okay.
So such programs bring them closer to us.
That's really cool.
That's good.
Yeah. I mean, what does a gay kid in Uganda do? Like a kid born gay in Uganda.
Yeah, that is a problem. That's what we always say. They always grow up in hiding.
Yeah.
Because there is no platform for them to come out in the open, to state the kind of life they have, to associate with fellow. And here we are a society that says we are democratic, people have freedom to association. We say freedom, yes, because we are in politics. I'm in opposition. I work with a political assistant to a certain member of parliament. He's very liberal-minded, but he can't say the kind of things I'm saying in the open because he needs votes. For me, I'm not seeking anyone's votes. I don't eat at anyone's, so I can state what I can state. I only fear that you may hate me, you might welcome me in the night and kill me, but because we are in the opposition, I always tell them, look here, just like we are fighting for government to give us our rights. Because if you follow Ugandan politics, we in the opposition even aren't allowed to hold rallies, we aren't allowed to assemble. So I tell them,
what, on any issue?
yeah, we aren't allowed to hold rallies and tell people what we want. You know? Only when government allows and the police has allowed you to do all the rallies. It's not your right that you just wake up and hold the rally. So we tell them, just like we feel we are marginalized, just like we feel we are persecuted, that we aren't allowed to assemble, why don't we also think that gays also feel that way? So if we fight for gays and they get their right, why don't you think then we can also have a right to say we also have that right? So if we feel government, if we feel gays shouldn't be allowed to assemble because they irritate us, then even the ones in government feel we the opposition irritate them, because in Africa politics is a left and death game. We just out of power, tomorrow we are hanging here like that. We are mobbing you on the street, we are sending you to prison. That is how government looks at us as the opposition. We are a threat to their lives and their livelihoods and their families. So if government sees us that way, and we also see gays that way, then let us accept the condition we are in. But maybe if we can give gays the right, then we can also ask for rights. That's what I always tell my friends in opposition politics. Yeah. So like I told you, we have 140 civil society and another 40 politics. So we understand how these things are.
Very interesting. Why do people fear gays so much? Why does it?
Actually, they don't fear gays. Here they call it homophobia, but I don't call it homophobia. They just hate it. So what do you have to feel with? Sometimes I joke with them that since we African men are polygamous, maybe they're helping decrease of the competition. Sometimes I use it as a joke. Yeah. So why should you fear them?
It's a Christian thing though, isn't it? If it's in the Bible, God doesn't approve. Then you're going to be struck down and you're not going to enter the gates of heaven or something. I don't know.
But why don't you report these matters to God? And it's because people have been taken, they don't analyze these things well. Why did Jesus have any information about gays? Because if you're Christian, you're not following the Old Testament, you're following the New Testament, you're following Jesus' teaching. Jesus, I don't know, because the Bible is just comparative. But in the New Testament, gays aren't mentioned anywhere, because they know Jesus' teaching, he couldn't have persecuted gays, he couldn't have called for their stoning.